If you need more proof that Terence Crawford is just not going to come back to boxing after Canelo, then I don't know what to tell you, because the WBO just pretty much confirmed he is not coming back to 154 pounds. But first, if you're new here, thank you for stopping in. And if you're an older subscriber, thank you for supporting this channel. I really appreciate it. Please hit the like and subscribe button. It really helps us out. I'm trying to get to 2100. I'm trying to get back to like getting at least 500, 600, 100 views, per video. For some reason, my channel has been at a crawl. But let's talk back with, Terence Crawford. What did WBO say? Well, the WBO said on Friday that the interim, that the interim junior middleweight champion, current WBA and 4th division champion Terence Crawford will relinquish the interim title as he moves forward towards a mid-September super middleweight title fight against Saul Canelo Alvarez. WBO President Gustavo Oliveira says subsequently announced that he will recommend Puerto Rico's number one contender Sana Zayas be elevated into mandatory contender position to next fight the sanctioning body's champion next. Unified WBO WBC Sebastian Fondora will make the first title defense of his belt Saturday night at the Mandalay Bay against heavy underdog Shordale Booker on Prime Video. He goes on to say, right, that I recommend the WBO Championship Committee that the current number 1 rated contender Xana Zayas be designated the mandatory challenger in the 154 pounds. If designated, the winner of Fondora Booker must fight Zayas with 120 days after their bout to discharge mandatory. Olivieri announced in a post on X. Okay, so that means that Terence Crawford is no longer of any sort of champ at 154. That means for sure he's going on 168. Folks, win, lose, or draw at 168, he's not coming back down to he's not going to stay 168, number one. Number two, he's not going to go to 160. He's not going to go down to 160. Let's just pretend that he loses. Let's pretend he's going to lose to Canelo Alvarez, I believe, anyway. He's going to go to one. You think he's going to go to 160 after he loses to Canelo Alvarez? No. He's not gonna do that. The only way he'll fight again on 168 is if he beats Canelo Alvarez, and Alvarez has that stipulation rematch, and there he's gonna force a fight, either retire or force a fight, and he's gonna fight the rematch. If he would have beat Canelo, he's gonna fight the rematch because the rematch would be so much more money, right? Like he wouldn't be able to just like not take that money, because that's what he's doing this for anyway. It's for the bag, really. It serves two purposes. Yes, when he says it's for legacy, it's for legacy. I get it, because if he beats Canelo Alvarez, of course it's legacy. But it's not really. I think he thinks he has a shot. I don't think he thinks he's gonna win. I think he just positioned himself into a fight where he's gonna make a whole lot of money, probably 10 times more than he's ever made anybody else against anybody else, right? And so after that, he's gonna retire. That's it. End of story. He's gonna lose and he's gonna retire. And there's nothing wrong with that, because he got the fight. Canelo agreed to, Turkey Al-Sheikh agreed to pay it. Canelo agreed to fight him, and now he's gonna get paid. That's it. Only way he'll fight again at 168 is against Canelo Alvarez. He's not gonna go around and try to unify anything, right? If he can't anyway, he's gonna be undisputed at that point. If Canelo beats Skull, which he will, he'll be undisputed, and it'll be a much bigger fight, a rematch, so forth and so on. You get the drift, right? If he loses to Canelo, he's not gonna go to 160, and he's not gonna fight anybody else at 168. And if he loses a bad decision, or devastating knockout, which he probably will, one of those would be the outcome. He's not gonna go to 160, right? And he's not going to force a rematch, because the rematch, why? We already saw the beatdown. And he's not going to fight anybody else at 168 because he'll get a similar beatdown. Or it'll be harder. He's going to be 38 years old, almost 39. He's not going to go anywhere else, folks. This is it for him. This is over. This is going to be the end of the line for him. And at 38, it's only going to be his second super fight. Think about this. Canelo is younger than Crawford and has had many super fights, in between a lot of stinkers, but he's had many super fights, and it was so mismanaged, his career. So he's desperately trying to cash out. Listen, is he a solid elite fighter? Yes, I respect Terence Crawford all the way to and through, but his career was mismanaged. He has one super fight on his belt right now, and that one's sort of questionable on what was wrong, if anything, with Errol Spence, because Errol Spence looked like that night, like if slow motion was a liquid, he fell in it. Like and he fell all in it, right? That's what he looked like. So at this point, we can safely say it's over. The Terence Crawford era, if there is such an era, it will be over. People will point out that he's 2-time undisputed, but who did he beat for undisputed except for Errol Spence? And it was, like I said, it might be questionable. And Errol Spence did all the heavy lifting. He got all the belts. All he had to fight was for one belt and then unify against Errol. I mean, not Errol's fault, but that's the way it went. And, honestly, it does matter who he beat for the championships, right? Because yeah, remember, they were all champions. Sure, they were champions. He beat champions, but who did those champions beat, and what did they do after him? Nothing. None of those champions after him went on to do anything, right? They really had like one semi-good win before Bud, and then after that they didn't do anything after that. They disappeared because they were hype trains. They were nothing more or less. It's not Bud's fault that that's what he had. It's kind of like the Roy Jones effect, right? Who did Roy Jones have? He fought a lot of cab drivers because he was one of my favorite fighters of all time. But he fought a lot of cab drivers because there wasn't a lot of people at the weight classes that he was in, and not Roy's fault. He just that's what he had in front of him. That's what happened with Terence. Could Terence have had a Hall of Fame career had he fought Danny Garcia, had he fought Keith Thurman, had he fought Sean Porter earlier, had he fought Errol Spence like he did? Possibly, but he didn't want to play on that side of the fence. He wanted to do things his way, and it cost him. And he looks like he has the skills to beat all those guys, but I would never know. You could say, he would have beat them. I don't know that. I could assume, but I don't know that. But anyway, let me know in the comments down below. What do you think? Do you think that it is over for Bud? He's not coming back after the Canelo fight, win, lose, or draw? Or unless he wins, he's going to get that rematch and go and really get paid after that. But I think he's done. Let me know if you think he's done. Let me know in the comments down below, and I'll see you in the next video. And I'm out. Peace.